ごめんね素直じゃなくて夢の中なら言える死闘回路はショート寸前今すぐ会いたいよ泣きたくなるよなムーンライト電話もできないみんなだって純情どうしようハートは万華鏡月の光に導かれ何度も巡り合う星座の瞬き数え占う恋の行方同じ国に生まれたのミラクルロマンス信じているのミラクルロマンス
Alright, guys, welcome back to Moonie Thoughts. This is episode 5 of season 2. I am Katie, and this is my lovely co-host, HellenJane.
Hello.
Alright, and we have a lot to cover, so we want to jump right into it, but we do have a couple things that we wanted to talk about first. Firstly, we would like to dedicate this episode of Moonie Thoughts to Yuko Mizutani, who was the voice of Ikuko Mama in Sailor Moon Crystal, who very sadly passed away on May 17th due to breast cancer. She was a prolific voice actress and did a lot of beloved characters like Ikuko Mama, so our thoughts and prayers are with her family, and we dedicate this episode to her. Thank you so much for bringing Ikuko to life for us.
You totally be missed in the Moonies community. Oh man, you won't get the whole video until when this comes out, but I got to meet the Viz Media's Yuzaki.
That was cool.
Yeah, and on the Sunday, there was a Sailor Moon or Sailor Scout transformation competition. It was really, really cool. And of course, I was given an impromptu plug. So if you end up seeing that, that's on Anime New Zealand, I think, by memory. Welcome. And yeah, and when we were leaving the stage, I was able to get a hug as well. So
That's really cool.
yeah, it was on cloud 9. But if you want to see it for yourself, I already put the video in the playlist already. But if you cut me stuff going in there, we will probably put the link down below. And be prepared for Sailor Claptrap. They were prepared.
They were very prepared. I've seen the video.
Yeah.
Alright, with that, we are going to dive right into our episode discussion, starting with episode 5. Not just of Moonie Thoughts, which is what we're doing, but episode 5 of season 3. In which the Inner Senshi finally meet Sailor Uranus and Neptune, but are disturbed to learn that these new guardians do not consider themselves their allies. Amy gains entry to the Mugen Academy, and the Senshi discover that it is controlled by the Deathbusters, and we also get our first glimpse and hints of the mysterious Tau star system. Really, the first thing that I had to say was that I love Amy throwing that pen at the camera. She's like a ninja. And I thought it was really cool how even though they didn't use her transformation sequence, it just kind of showed her transforming as she dove into the pool, and then when she jumped out, she was Sailor Mercury. That was really cool.
It is the comment about the ninja. It was really, really interesting because when she got that, she was recruited for the academy. she told the Senshis that she will be fine.
Yeah, the Nani's got skills. She'll be okay.
Then we followed her for a bit. Then out of nowhere, zoom goes the pen. It's like she knew what she had to do.
And she obviously knew someone was watching her too.
Yeah. So.
One thing during the fight with Vuli, I thought it was really interesting that Mercury's opponent, instead of being based on the same element that she is, instead of being water-based, she's technology-based, since that's another big aspect of Mercury's character. She's got, the visor. She's always, whenever any of the actual Senshi are working in the Luna base, it's usually her on the computer. And, Uriel had her fire, and Mimet had, it's called the Charm Buster attack in the manga, even though it wasn't named in the episode, but it still, fits with her theme, and, so all the others kind of suited their theme for their, the Senshi that they were sort of paired with, but, I just thought it was cool that Yuli was technology and not water.
And it's really interesting too because in Crystal it showed like much more of like all the atoms as well.
Yeah, the attack was a lot more detailed.
Yeah. Go team. They they really upped the game. They have learnt from the last two series and upped it.
Yeah.
And it really shows.
Speaking of attacks, Space Sword Buster looked so good. It's so cool, and it reminds me a lot of Earthshaking, which, like I said, is one of my absolute favorite attack animations from the old series. And I'm really glad that they are letting the full-size sword have its time, because the shorter version, the one that it stayed at in the first anime, I never liked it as much. It always looked kind of more like a toy to me. So I like the full-length, more graceful version of Uranus' sword.
I can't remember this episode or a few episodes later, but they did show the short version.
Yes, it is coming.
For a bit, but for most of the series it was basically the longer sword, and I'm like, whoa, look at that. Look at how it's compared to the first anime.
I always thought it looked like a toy when it was the short version. I like the long, real-looking one. And, of course, setting my heart aflutter, a familiar face appears right at the very end. Sailor Pluto, my queen. I was pretty excited. Couple little notes about the manga. First one, and it's been going on, but I only just noticed it, and it's a very small thing, but Sailor Uranus has different earrings in her Senshi form in Crystal than she does in the illustrations, because in the illustrations, they're like little stars, and she has hoops in Crystal, which I think is cool. It's just another little way that her design is set apart from the others, like her back bow not being the same color as her front bow, and stuff like that.
I thought that she had hoops as well in the first anime.
Did she? She might have had them in the first anime. I just know because in the manga, she has stars. But we'll include an annotation about if she had hoops or stars in the first anime.
Yeah, because it sounded familiar, and then I bought that first season.
Another little thing, but in the manga, Makoto tells Chibiusa when she comes into the arcade looking for Mamoru that, when she's constantly saying, Mama-chan, Mama-chan, blah, 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 she's gonna get teased by the kids at her school because she's always crying for this guy. And it made me realize that in the incarnations of Chibiusa that I don't like so much, like, I'm even growing on her in the manga, even though I think she's a little bit more tepid than she is in Crystal, but the first anime, especially the dub, you guys know it all. I always felt like she never got called out on being really bratty, and that was why I didn't like her. I don't like characters that act really bratty and terrible to other people and then get away with it because they're so cute, blah, blah, blah. Like they're a little sibling character or whatever. I always hate them. They always annoy me so much, and I want someone to tell them, no, you're being awful, stop it. So having that little reprimand in there when I didn't like Chikyusa very much when I was first reading it, I was always like, yeah, you tell her, Makoto. So that was my little revelation about Chikyusa. And also, just in case it wasn't clear, because I know they've kind of dove into using this terminology without explaining it yet, they do later. But they addressed it in the manga's translation notes as well. A host, H-O-S-T-E, or hoste, I guess. When they're talking about hostes and harvesting them and whatever, they're basically, that's a person's soul. It's the energy of their soul. So when the Deathbusters drain the souls or hosts or hostes out of people, they can then use their empty bodies, which they call vessels, to plant eggs in, which creates diamonds. Now, they don't want to create diamonds. They're trying for something different, which was addressed later, but that's what hosts or hostes or death and vessels are, in case anyone was unclear.
I hate being sick. Sorry if it sounds a little disgusting noise, but I really kind of like have a cold in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for us as in New Zealand, it is winter, so...
That's why I'm not trying to speak over HellenJane. If I do more talking in this episode, she's just sick.
Yeah. Episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
Usagi confronts Haruka about why Uranus and Neptune refuse to fight alongside the other Senshi. While the fourth of the witches' harvests hosties was the plants, another ouster Senshi awakens, causing a familiar face to return.
Okay, so while they're learning all their history about Professor Tomoe and the accident and stuff, I just love how Professor Tomoe is this weird-looking guy who wears these glasses with this, like, runic eye etched in one side, and no one cares. Like, I know he's a recluse and he doesn't really show himself in public anyway, but even the Senshi are never like, what's with the eyeball, man? What are you doing? It's just, he's just a weird guy. Also, when Makoto is having flashbacks to her senpai, he looked a lot like Mamoru from the back. He had the same haircut and hair color, and he dressed the same. His voice was different, but I was still amused.
He reminds me of my ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
There was a line that was always brought up in the first anime dub.
Well, even in the manga, that was kind of Makoto's thing. Her old senpai from her old school that dumped her and broke her heart. Yeah. And every guy she comes across reminds her of her old senpai or her ex-boyfriend, depending on what language you're listening to.
Including Mamo-chan.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that amused me was Usagi hiding behind Totaro's couch like a weirdo. Like, why aren't you just sitting on the couch and drinking your tea? You knucklehead McSpazatron. I don't know what was up with that. But, well, of course it's because, she was paranoid about Hotaru being Tomoe's daughter, but it was still funny. We see Pink Sugar Heart Attack for the first time, and I think it looks really good. It isn't overly flashy or dramatic like a lot of the other attacks are, but Chibi Moon isn't fully grown as a Senshi yet, so it makes sense that her attack isn't going to be so bombastic or powerful. It's, it's her first time.
And it didn't fail the first time when it was used.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking of that scene.
So it just popped up my head. It's like, at least it wasn't giving the Yoma a good spanking. But did just occurred to me that it could also be that she's not fully awakened yet as well. So
That too.
So probably not going to respond the first time.
Basically, she's a newbie, so she gets a pass on not having a super crazy looking attack. Unlike Dead Scream, because it looked so good. Oh my god, that's another one of my favorite attacks. Oh my god, Pluto's such a boss. I love her. And actually, and this is a theme that's going to continue for the episode discussion, there really were no really big notable differences between the anime and manga in this episode. Just nothing really to report on that front. That takes us to episode 7. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto have finally revealed their goal and their reasons for refusing to work alongside the inner Senshi. Hotaru's history is explained, and Chibiusa learns what is going on with her body. The final member of the Witches 5 attack, and it flings the whole city into this violent chaos, and everyone's fighting each other, and the inner and outer Senshi begin fighting each other. Only Sailor Moon, Sailor Chibi Moon, and Tuxedo Kamen are left unaffected, and they combine their power in an effort to bring all the Senshi together, which manifests the Holy Grail. And that's where the episode ends. Now, something that kind of bugged me is that, I mean, you come to learn why the real reason is that the outer Senshi are refusing to work with the inners and saying, we're not allies, we can't work together. But the main excuse that they give at this point in time is saying, we're stronger than you and you'll hold us back. And I think that even within the universe, that excuse doesn't make a lot of sense, because Sailor Moon has basically been told by her future self that she is the most powerful being in the universe, and she's only going to get stronger from this point. So she doesn't really have a reason to believe that these random other Senshi that have shown up have so many more special powers than her and are so much more powerful than her. So, and I mean, obviously, she and the inner Senshi say, screw you, we do what we want anyway. But it just seemed like that was kind of a weak excuse for the outers to use.
And they did it as well in the first anime, did they?
I think so.
Yeah, it's like having that nod back to the first anime.
They did it in the manga as well. So, and also they're saying, you know, they already know who we are and they're going to come and hunt us down, and do you really want them to hunt you down too? And it's like, the inner Senshi have already transformed in front of them, and the Witches 5 have literally said, oh, now we know who you actually are. So that concern is kind of, you know, that ship has sailed. That can already happen anyway. So that was another reason why that excuse didn't really work. We finally see Pluto's commercial bumper, her artwork for that, and it is beautiful. So is the music during Hotaru's scene, where she's, you know, so upset about Chibiusa having seen her and all of this. That music was gorgeous and heartbreaking, and I'm really impressed with the music they've been using this season.
They're really... I'm lost for words.
Yeah. Some of the same background music is from the first season, which was okay, but, like, there's one that they use a lot when, it's supposed to be kind of like a scene that shows, oh, bad things are happening, and it's this weird guitar sting, and it reminds me of, like, low-budget, like, adult-oriented 90s anime. I can't disassociate it, so that always kind of bugs me, but the gorgeous music they use in other places makes up for it. And again, there were no real big differences between this episode and the manga. Nothing worth mentioning.
I really need to get lemon water. I really do.
We are going to take a break. In an effort to keep the Chibis from vandalizing our podcast, we have struck a deal with them this month, and we're letting them introduce the songs.
Yeah.
So Chibi, whoever, I don't know. Take it away.
Hey! I resented that, Katie! Oh well. Well, guess what? Both Chibi, Sera, Katie and I got to dive into the music catalogue. And we chose our favourite songs. So my choice is Call My Name by Jennifer Saihai. I think my pronunciation is worse than HellenJane's. Oh well, enjoy it anyway.
There are days when those gray skies make you blue. Each forward step you take, you fall back by two. You've been hit by some hard knocks you just can't stand. Feeling like Alice felt in Wonderland. Let me be the one to lend a hand. Call my name and I'll be there. There's nothing like the laughter that we share. Whenever you need someone or a shoulder to lean on, call my name and I'll be there. And when life's going your way, just like a breeze, it's a kite flying kind of day above the trees. Together we'll be making memories. Call my name and I'll be there. There's nothing like the laughter that we share. Whenever you need someone or a shoulder to lean on, call my name and I'll be there. As this world turns us around, we hang on to what we found, treasure we both need. I will go that extra mile to give you back that certain smile that you've given me. Yeah. I'll answer every time and anywhere. Call my name and I'll be there. There's nothing like the laughter that we share. Whenever you need someone or a shoulder to lean on, call my name and I'll be there. Call my name and I'll be there. Call my name, call my name, I'll be there.
Okay, guys, welcome back. We were in the middle of our episode discussion, so we're going to pick that back up. We hope you enjoyed the song.
Yep. And I got my drink.
Yes.
So with it.
Alright. Episode 8, Sailor Moon calls upon all of the Senshi to unite their hearts and lend her power, which creates the Moon Chalice and lets her transform into Super Sailor Moon. Doing this breaks the spell that we're making all the Senshi fight each other. The outer Senshi reveal the story of their talismans and how they saw Sailor Saturn awaken and destroy everything that was left after the Silver Millennium fell. Meanwhile, Hotaru is losing control and starts to become Mistress 9. I think whoever was doing the subtitles, for Crunchyroll at least, was in like a rush to meet a deadline or something, because the grammar and the word choice, it's not great. And I know Crunchyroll has hiccups like that sometimes, but this was pretty frequently throughout the episode. There were some lines where I had to pause it to try to figure out what they were trying to say.
Well, at this point, I haven't actually checked Anime Lab, which got the go-ahead to do the rest of the simulcasting for New Zealand and Australia recently. So I haven't checked if they had the exact same problem.
Oh yeah.
So at this point, it's probably Crunchyroll was rushing. I'm on
Yeah.
I'm on com brain at the moment.
I'm not sure if all of the places that are getting the English subs, if someone is doing it and sending it to out and they all have the same subtitles, or if, like Crunchyroll's is different than Hulu's is different than Neon Alley's, but I just know for the Crunchyroll ones, and I guess for the ones that HellenJane was watching, they were messed up.
Mm-hmm.
HellenJane pointed this out to me earlier. Sera Myu didn't get a little upgrade with her fuku. She didn't get a heart brooch or anything. I mean, her brooch was already a heart, but she didn't get any other kind of change. Oh well, it's coming.
Yeah.
Sera Myu, don't worry.
Probably another reason, another part why she isn't fully awakened yet. Before the Sailor Senshus were properly awakened, when the first legendary silver crystal popped up, they had flashy attacks. So why isn't Chibi getting the exact same treatment? But oh well, something that we will never find out.
I know for me, seeing the Silver Millennium being destroyed again, I was like, oh, my heart, I don't want to see this again.
I know, it's like, enough of the torment. We know it's over.
I agreed with Usagi when she's like, don't tell me about this. And I was like, me neither. Another thing that HellenJane pointed out to me was that Pluto apparently broke one of the taboos because it appears that she left the time door to reunite the talismans to summon Sailor Saturn. And, that's one of the taboos. She's not supposed to do that. So, was that like some kind of loophole? Did she not die because of, was she supposed to have died for that? And I was thinking about it, and I guess it really depends on how much of existence Sailor Saturn actually destroys. Because if she restarts literally everything when she lowers the glaive, including time, then it wouldn't matter what Sailor Pluto did, because once everything picked back up again, it would be like what she had done had never happened. But if time isn't vulnerable to Saturn's power, though, and because Pluto kind of exists within time, she doesn't just exist in the 3 dimensions, she exists in the 4th. Then I guess, yeah, she did kind of find a loophole, because everyone else had been destroyed, and so no one was there to say, hey, you have to die because you broke a taboo. So she kind of
and Queen
skated under the radar with that.
And Queen Serenity wasn't alive, and she told Pluto that she wasn't allowed to leave the time door.
Yeah, and at that point, Queen Serenity was blaved with the rest of the universe, so... Pluto was, assuming that Sailor Saturn didn't restart time itself to begin with, Sailor Pluto was basically the only one there to know what she did, and if she didn't want to say, hey guys, I left the time door, so I have to die, I'm not going to blame her.
But she did pay in the end anyway.
I thought that the effect that they used to show that Mistress 9 was like losing control and Hotaru was taking control again, that kind of like a visual effect and the sound and whatever, I think they've just been doing the whole Mistress 9 thing and showing her taking over, gradually overcoming Hotaru in her body. They've done it really cool, like with the sounds and the voice effects they've done and the physical cues. I think it's a really, it's kind of creepy, which is good.
That
I love...
bumper.
What?
The bumper.
Oh, yeah. Sailor Saturn got her commercial bumper, and it is, like all the others, gorgeous. I really want... Someone took the ones from the first season and kind of edited out, like, the titles and stuff and the writing that was on them and made them available for computer wallpapers. I want someone to do that with these. Because they're gorgeous and I need them.
And I can't remember if it was this episode or the 9th episode that they had all 3 of the outer senshis together. That looks amazing.
I think it's the next episode, because this one was Hotaru on her own.
Yeah. But either way, it's amazing.
A couple little things from the manga. The jewels being present on the shortened version of Uranus's sword, that's totally from the anime. There aren't any jewels on the short sword in the manga. And I can't recall there being in any, like, art book illustrations. I could be wrong on that one. We'll put an annotation. But in the manga, there's no jewels. They pulled that straight from the other anime.
Probably as a nod back.
Yeah. I kind of like it without the jewels, because I think the jewels sort of added to making it look more like a toy than an actual sword, but oh well. One other little thing is, at the end of the chapter in the manga, Mistress 9 hadn't fully transformed. She was still in the process of taking over Hotaru's body, and her hair had grown out really long, but she couldn't, like, use it like claws like she did in the episode. And she didn't have her Mistress 9 dress. She was still wearing Hotaru's clothes. And her body hadn't changed yet. She still was the same age as Hotaru. Also in the manga, Chibiusa gets a lot more visible injuries. She's all scratched up and bleeding, and it's not, like, gory, but it's, enough to be, like, alarming that this little girl is all covered in these bloody scratches. For episode 9, we learn that Chibiusa will die if her soul and her silver crystal are not retrieved from Hotaru. So Sailor Moon and the inner Senshi go to get them back, while the outer Senshi say, we're going to go kill Hotaru, like they did the last time. Like they said they were going to do the last time. Kaoli Knight resurrects the Witches 5 to trap and curse the inner Senshi, but the outers come to the rescue and admit that they all want to work together. They don't want to be perceived as enemies. But at the end of the episode, Mistress 9 consumes the crystal that she stole from Chibiusa, which is going to make it pretty hard to get it back.
The thing that actually caught me off guard, I'm pretty sure this is in the manga as well, that Yuzaki wasn't affected at all. And this is nothing related to the silver crystal or whatever. I guess is her willpower that made her survive her illusion.
Well, her illusion, she was succumbing to it. It's just before it could get to her and totally break her, Mamoru was able to help her out. But, I mean, she believed that the other Senshi were telling her that, it was her fault that they were all dying and that Mamoru was going to kill everyone, and then her... It didn't work on her quite as fast as it did the other Senshi. Also, Yurio got kind of creepy with Rei, because she was, like, hovering over her and pinning her arms down to the ground and, like, right above her face. It's like, Yurio, you can talk farther away than that. You don't need to be up in there.
A female version of creepy Prince.
Yeah, exactly. His spirit lives on through Yurio. Again, the quality of the subs was not perfect. I don't know if they were in a rush to get to the deadline or if like their proofreader was on vacation. I don't know. But the subs, again, there were a few times where I had to pause it and figure out what are they trying to convey. I also remembered all those civilians who were fighting each other after Tilo and the other one. What was her name?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but they're the ones that can combine into one witch, right?
Yeah, let me look it up.
I know the ones that you're talking about.
Cybrine and Tilo. This is what happens when we record late at night. Because they'd cast that spell, or that curse, that made everybody in Tokyo fight each other and raid and whatever. Like, did they all get healed when Super Sailor Moon appeared and used her heartache attack? Or are they still going at it? Were only the Senshi healed? And if they were healed, what are they doing now? And why, are they reacting to the Mugen school suddenly being covered in big weird vines? I'm just kind of curious about that. Not that it's really relevant, that I expect them to show it. It's just something to think about. We see Neptune and Pluto's talisman-assisted attacks, which are gorgeous. Submarine Reflection is so good. And Chronos Typhoon, it's so good. I love that they kept... Because usually when the Senshi attack, they, yell their attack name. And they're really forceful about it. But Pluto, she did it with Dead Scream, and she does it here. And she did it in the first anime, too. She just, says it very calmly, like this deadly calm that she doesn't need to yell for it to just absolutely murder you. I think that's really cool.
I think in the dub, I don't know, it was stars or superstars, but in the dub version, it sounded like Pluto was yelling her attack.
They might have changed it for the dub. I was thinking
I just saw that.
The Japanese.
Yeah. Which really sucks, is really out of her character, but her saying her attacks and yelling them, that shows that she has really some class.
It is. It's so her to be, quiet and calm and still just massively destructive. I always thought that was a really cool aspect to her character. That finishes it up for the episodes themselves. But we have a couple other things to discuss because we got some new openings and endings.
First off, we are looking at the version 2 set.
So, version 2 of the opening has remained the same song, there's just been different people singing it.
My first thought was, we're getting there. We got the Gusto who is starting to get really serious, but
yes, exactly.
It's not as serious enough. We got the Gusto.
Yeah, it's not so gentle, and it's better, but having a voice that I like more, I think it just confirmed for me that it wasn't all the vocals of the first version. I'm just not super crazy about the vocal arrangement for the song. I like the background music, but at least for the first two, just the vocal arrangement and how it's sung, it's just not my favorite.
Yeah. I can say definitely that the first version was my least favorite.
Yeah, me too.
It's like too soft. It's too gentle.
Exactly.
It doesn't match to Moon Pride.
Nope.
Then also in that set we have Chibiusa's character song, or crystal character song, which
is it took the place of Eternal Eternity as the ending credits song for like 4 episodes, I think.
my first thoughts was kawaii. Yes, I do understand that some people don't like it. Yes, I did read the comments on the official YouTube channel when the textless version came out, that people say that they don't like it. Some people say they do like it, but it doesn't suit the Infinity arc. It fits in with the Dream arc. But either way, it's super cute, and we need more character songs like this. As an ending, maybe, but as a song itself, we definitely need more character songs along that gusto. They are not disappointing us, that's for sure. Because Eternity, everyone fell in love with, and they kept that standard up as well. I think the way for it is like they want everyone to say, oh, now that's over, it's time to have some fun. But the thing is though, recently the opening came out, which we're going to talk about in a sec. Well, a few minutes anyway. It was episode 8, and it ends up on a very depressing note.
Yeah.
Then the song came out, like, that's depressing.
Exactly.
It's okay, that was depressing. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, the last words were Usagi screaming because Chibiusa isn't breathing, and then it's Chibiusa's Happy Good Time song. I thought her ending theme... By the way, Chibiusa's song is called Maiden's Advice, or Otome no Suzume. I thought everything about this ending theme is like cavity-inducing sweetness and cute. The animation is cute, and the tune is cute, and the lyrics and her little voice. And it's not so upbeat that it gets you excited like an opening would, but it's still fun. I tend to think that a lot of ending songs, since they tend to be slower, and I'm not usually a big fan of slow jams, usually endings aren't my favorite, but it's still upbeat and fun. I like it. I think it's really cute, but as adorable as it is, I still prefer Eternal Eternity because it's gorgeous and I love it.
Did you actually notice, because I listened to the on YouTube because there's now somebody uploaded it, I listened it fully, and it has this French flair.
Does it?
Yeah.
I guess it does kind of. It's got that, like, that sort of organy,
Yeah, it's like this really French kind of tune in the background, which made it so much cuter to Chibiusa.
It is just nauseatingly cute. It's the cutest thing.
Yeah.
What did you think about the third version of the opening by Momoira Clover's Eve?
Yes! Finally! The girls are back. Please don't leave us again. Please.
I do definitely think that it is by far the best of the 3. The second one was a step up, but this is definitely the top tier. It's got so much energy and life. They even added more flair to the background music, the instrumentals. I can actually almost fully just make this a song that I like. I still am not a huge fan of the vocal arrangement, and that's just something I'm not going to get over, but I definitely this is by far the one that I like the most, and it's the best out of the three.
I just wish that they used this in the beginning.
Yeah.
Then we would have loved it even more. And the vocal arrangements will give it a miss. But how it started from the beginning, then building up, but still, I'm just glad that the girls are back. And I hope that they're staying with the rest of the Crystal series, because they really, really suit it. They really do.
I really hope that they stick with this one for the rest of the season.
They will.
Yeah.
Because again, to like the nitty gritty inside of it. So.
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess that's what their intention was for 3 versions. But just stick with what works. And the girls did make Moon Pride kind of like a classic among the community, the Sailor Moon community.
Tuxedo Common's ending song also made its debut. And Dake ga Futari wa Kakeru, which is Only Eternity Brings the Two Together. What do you think about that?
Okay, I'm putting my wand for the Tuxedo Coming puppet to the side for now. We need more TK character songs.
Yeah, I would vote for those.
Yeah. I can't imagine him singing it in those poses. Because at the beginning he was like pose, stand in spot, turn and left the screen. Appeared on the other side, it did the exact same thing. But something that shocked me, like, what? They did a fan service. And it was him getting soaked in the rain.
Yep. I mean, the only way they could have been more fan servicey about it was if his shirt was open instead of buttoned up.
Yeah. I think they tried to prevent some girls getting nosebleeds.
Yeah. I mean, I've never been super in love with Mamoru. I like him as a character. I think he's got his flaws, but I think overall he's a cool guy. But I will say that I think his crystal incarnation is the one that I think is the most attractively modeled out of all of them.
Yeah. It's something that I can picture him actually doing as a number. Like, you know the musicals that they do in Japan?
Yeah.
Like, I can picture whoever's doing Tuxedo Coming singing this song on stage. Has said that, my personal favourite has to be the Chibiusa character song.
Maiden's Advice.
Yep.
It's really cute.
I'm a sucker for cute things. Though Eternal Eternity gives me the chills for the right reasons. And we don't get that kind of duet that often from Uranus and Neptune. So, how about you?
Okay, so as soon as this song kicked in with the synth, I knew it was going to kill me. And it did. The synth killed me, so did the dancing, his twirling off screen, and his standing dramatically in the rain. It's all so... It's so Tuxedo Common, that cheesy, but, like, also you know that it's not done, like... I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it's sincere, and it's not meant to be flashy. It's just how he is. But it's still, you know, doing dramatic spins with a bunch of roses and standing in the rain, so it's still, like, just, oh my god, Tuxedo Common. But the segments with Endymion and Serenity I thought were really cool. And I like how they echoed that scene where it starts off with them holding hands and then pans out. because they did that in Eternal Eternity as well with Michiru and Haruka. I like his vocals. His voice is a bit lighter than I thought it would be, but it's more smooth. It's just a bit more pleasant than I was expecting. I thought it'd be good. I wasn't like, oh, this is gonna suck, but it's better than I was expecting. So that was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, and I think it's the original Mamo-chan who sung it, I think. Because I remember that when they announced Crystal and from season 1 that's going to be simulcast, was simulcast, sorry, it was the original Tuxedo Kamen.
It's sung by Kenji Nojima. And I think that's his current voice actor. I'll have to check. We'll include a note.
Yeah, annotation. But either way, man, he could sing.
Yeah, it was really nice. I really liked it.
Yeah.
So overall, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it, even if parts of it I'm like, oh my god, Tuxedo Kamen, oh my god. But, I mean, to the surprise of no one, considering how much I rant about it, my top favorite overall is still Eternal Eternity.
Yeah. And now for the transformations. First thought was 90s. Really? Because we were expecting, you know how they updated the inner centuries with even though it's still the basic ones, they basically, well, I'm saying basically way too much. What I'm trying to say, they updated their 90s transformations to make it modern. And you don't see, you can kind of see the resemblance of the 90s, but it's all modernized that if you look hard enough, you can see it. But this, for the new generation, you can't really see it. But for Uranus and Pluto, not Pluto, Pluto's hasn't actually shown yet. Uranus kind of had a bit of an update, but it wasn't up to the extent that you can't really see it. It's basically the exact same motion, exact same way, and all you can see is they added the shoes, the bow, the fuku skirt, and the gloves. For Neptune, it was basically the exact same thing as it was in the 90s. But at least they gave the Holy Grail transformation a new update. A makeover. And I love it.
Yeah.
No more basic butterfly wings. No more looking that you are coming out of a cocoon. That is finito. Gone. It's in the 90s era, to say the least. And I just love how they updated the wings as well. It's so beautiful.
Yes, they're gorgeous.
Yeah. I just fell in love with it. I'm hoping that Pluto doesn't follow suit, even though her one when the sands was coming into cover her in a way. I hope that they do a bit of modernization with it and give Sailor Saturn a proper transformation if they are doing the Starlight's part of the story.
Yeah, I mean, I knew they'd already established from the inner Senshi's transformation sequences that they were really heavily basing them off of the 90s. At least not Sailor Moon, she got a new one, but the other ones were really, I mean, they updated the animation and they added a bit more posing and made it smoother and stuff, but they're really heavily based on the 90s. But I was holding out hope that they'd give Uranus and Neptune something more elaborate than they had in the first one. And I'm disappointed that they didn't, but at the same time, what they did do in terms of updating with the visuals and stuff, that is really pretty. So, and the music, of course. I love the transformation music. So, they did a good job, but I think they could have done better if they actually gone the extra mile and given them full transformations.
So if they ended up doing the dream arc, we probably will see Pluto doing her transformation. And if they decided to go ahead and announce that saga, we have something to look forward to for next year.
I kind of doubt at this point that if they haven't updated Uranus and Neptune's, I don't think they're really going to do anything different for Pluto's and Saturn's, but, you know, dare to dream.
Yeah. And yeah, that's basically all our thoughts for Sailor Moon Crystal.
So far, at least.
Yeah. When this comes up, 3 more episodes to go.
Yay!
It's getting to the climax. Well, I think we are up to our second break, isn't it? So you know what that means.
Yep.
Oh, Chibi Sailor Katie!
Present! Hey guys, it's Chibi Sailor Katie and I'm here to introduce my favorite song from our musical archive, which is The Power of Love from the Sailor Moon R movie. The English version, anyway. I thought it was appropriate since the hearts of all of the Senshi granted Sailor Moon her Super Sailor Moon transformation. I hope you guys enjoy.
There comes a time when you face the toughest of fights, searching for a sign, lost in the darkest of nights. The wind blows
guys.
Welcome back. We hope you like the song.
Well, this mutual the podcast is all about blind boxes.
Blind boxes are really popular right now, and Sailor Moon ones, of course, are no exception. In case you don't know what they are, blind boxes and bags, they're sets of items that are usually come in collectible sets, like, Series 1, Series 2. Some that are really popular right now are the Funko mini collectibles, or Shopkins, and My Little Pony has a really popular line, and basically the whole point is you buy a box or a bag, and it's sealed, and it's all covered, so you can't see what's in it, so you're kind of taking a risk and hoping that the one that you get is rare, or one you don't already have, or one that you could easily trade for one you don't have yet. They're kind of like little collectibles. It's like getting a pack of cards. You don't know what's in it, you kind of gotta buy it and open it and see what you get.
There has been a good range of Sailor Moon blind bags or blind boxes. Mostly blind boxes. The series could be different poses and different expressions of the exact same character. Different kind of poses. There's even a light series, which is really interesting to say the least.
Like they light up?
Yep.
That's cool.
Even to adorable glass decorations and plates. I have seen the boxed version of the glass decorations, which basically is Sailor statues hanging, like chilling out at the edge of a cup or glass.
Cute.
And I remember seeing an unboxing with an opening segment with all the plates, and they look so amazing. It's really hard to try and find prices because it varies from place to place and site to site, and they're really, really adorable. You can buy it in single boxes to take the risk, or in a bulk box, so you know you're going to get what you really want. But be careful. You may get duplicates if you get too much. Which, I already told Katie this, but you probably will hear me again in the haul straight after. It's kind of weird to have in the haul after Moonie Thoughts. But anyway, that's how life goes. That she is going to get a duplicate tuxedo coming from the Petty Charland candy set.
I'll have to hold that in my heart until I get a puppet.
Yeah, I got one last year as well as Sailor Venus. I now have, as part of the collection, the other Senchis except for Usagi. I should have gone a bulk box, so you would have had Sailor Venus as well.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
So I'm on a.
I will live with my tiny baby tuxedo promise.
But yeah, so where I got it from, it was at convention that Madman, which basically is the main distributor for Sailor Moon on behalf of its media, they were selling it for $10 each. At another store, they were selling it for about $20 each.
Ouch.
So that's what I mean.
That's New Zealand dollars, right?
Yeah, in New Zealand dollars. So that's what I mean by the price varies from place to place, site to site. It could be different as well for eBay or Amazon. So.
And it'll also depend on what brand you get.
Yeah. Or what blind box or blind bag you want to get. And I know by now you saw the visuals of what most of the series looks like. Yusagi's one is basically Sailor Moon sitting on a gummy moon that you're already seeing on the box. So, yeah, that's about it for this month.
Yeah. If you want to contact us, give us your thoughts, your ideas, tell us anything, you can do so at mooniethoughts@gmail.com. We also have a Twitter account at yukai56. Feel free to follow us for updates on Moonie Thoughts and other stuff from the channel and other various things that HellenJane feels like posting, because she's the one who's in charge of that.
Yeah, I do random postings. Sometimes you never know. I mean, recently, since speaking of which, when this comes out, it probably is only lasts for a week. So when if you hear this in the future, is out of date. Moon Kitty is doing a Tuxedo Commons art competition.
Well, everyone go check that out. Draw the best Tuxedo Common puppet and submit it and make it so impressive that the official merchandise people have to make one, and then I'll buy it.
Or it can be the next header for what Moon Kitty is doing, which is a weekly newsletter.
Well, okay, or
And Moon Kitty, yeah, is a he, did a GIF of one of the, I think it was Emerald, I can't remember, I think it was Emerald.
Yeah, it was.
Said, "You're so handsome."
And the comment just slowly backs away.
Good choice, man. Good choice. Speaking of which, let's do our things. Starting with Moon Kitty.
The Sailor Moon Wiki.
Wikimoon.org.
Crunchyroll.
Sailor Moon's Collectibles.
And you guys, our listeners. We wouldn't do it without you guys.
Next podcast will be in July, which is the 6th for my side of country. Well, yeah, not country, world. World.
Nice
And
if we lived in the same country.
and the 5th on Katie's side of the world.
Yep.
Do you want to announce what the big topic is for this year?
Sure, it's coming up, so drumroll please. The big topic we're going to talk about this year that will span 2 episodes is, the magical girl genre, what it was like before Sailor Moon, and how Sailor Moon influenced it.
And we also been gonna look at, as part of the magical girls, is the magical guys.
Yeah, we'll just kind of be looking at magical people in general.
Pretty much. So I hope you guys are gonna enjoy it. We're gonna have a lot of fun watching animes.
Yes, well, I have to do research by watching a bunch of magical girl anime.
And magical guy.
And magical person anime.
Yeah, the one I'm watching in the moment is really, really weird. It's playing around with 2 tropes, which is magical girl and idol. But you won't find out what that is until part 2, which is in August.
Alright. Well, thank you very much for listening, guys. Again, if you have anything you want to tell us, email us, tweet us, stand outside and yell really loud. I'll try to listen.
And we will see you then.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.